Alright, and we should be streaming. Mic is not muted. We should be good to go. Good evening, everybody. Let's do some art. Don't even ask about the masks. Like, last stream, I was so excited about having that Zora mask done. You don't know why it's not painted anymore, go check my Instagram. That should explain everything. Tonight we are going to do kind of something a little different. We're gonna do some artistic experimentations tonight. I started playing around with crayons on top of acrylics, and I only did it a little bit, and when I started, I knew that I had to start doing the stream. So here we are. It's so late at night. I wasn't even sure I was going to do a stream today, but yeah, have a look at this. This is a squeegee art, which I'm sure I've done squeegee art before on the channel. It's very simple art. You put paint down at the edges of a taped out piece of canvas or paper here, and you pull it down with a squeegee, and it creates a nice matte painting. But then I've drawn on top of this with crayons, and I found that the crayons worked really nice for this. And so I grabbed a bunch of different things. Some pieces that they're either in the works, it didn't get finished, or the idea of them kind of divulged and I set it aside. Or it's literally a class project that I do with my students, and it may be, well, let's get into it. This is an example of one of those pieces. It might look a little rushed, you can tell. I do a lot of paint-alongs with children, and I'll do the basic idea of the painting, and I'll kind of like explain the skills, and then I let them go off and finish off the work, and even edit it to add in their own artistic flares. So once they've developed the skill, or they understand where the intended project is supposed to go, then they have kind of like free rein to go ahead. But they also have the expectation that I'm going to finish the project and present something as well. And sometimes that can't even happen. Like, I only get a project like 3/4 of the way done. If it's a paint along, I will usually try to strive to get like in finished state. But these pieces themselves, these were part of, I have an adult student who did a diptych of paintings like this. They were renditions of either existing works or something that they'd found online. But my younger students, they fell in love with the pieces that he had done. So they wanted their own, so I ended up making them with them. But I want to do something special with these, because I feel like there's nothing really unique about this yet. And I only say that because there's dozens of these now hanging around in the studio that I work at. A ton of students have done this version of this painting now. I have a few inks and crayon pieces from a few months ago. I guess this was like last year, year before? I don't remember when I was doing this. The primary shapes. I have a few of these. Another squeegee art here. This is water and ink painting with some crayon as well. I think I'm going to take this and see if I can add some more depth to this. We might as well experiment with some crayons. I also picked up some pencil crayons because I've gone through my, I was going through my materials over the last few days and trying to clean up stuff a little bit. And I realized I didn't have any pencil crayons. I have a watercolor set of pencil crayons, but no real pencil crayons. So I ended up picking up a set of 12. But in that set of 12, I realized there's no white pencil crayons, so I still need to get a grayscale set of them. Anyways. Another piece that I'm going to add some crayons on top of this as well. I don't know what this was intending to be, but it's got some layers to it. Take it further, see what else we can do to this. Same with this one. This is kind of intense, but I think it could be. I think we can take this further. I believe the first intentions of this one. Oh, here it is. Yeah, the first intentions of this, and I should probably continue with that. This is a what is it? A concert. You can kind of see the stage here, and the audience is down here. This was supposed to be like the idea of the lights really reacting to the audience a lot, but to do this, I put down tape and I was peeling it up. And I peeled it up. I ended up pulling a huge chunk of the paper out here, and I was very frustrated with myself when I put it aside. Looking at it, I kind of like it, but this draws the eye a lot, so if we do something to this, I think I want to do more. Take it even further. This guy, I was going for painting brambles, so like raspberries and blackberries, and just kind of like going with like a golden hour kind of lighting aspect to it. There's something here that I really like, I really enjoy, but I think, again, this I want to take further. I just want to take a little bit further. This isn't art, this is just a board to take things down on and do a squeegee across if I want to, which I think I do. I think I'm going to start off with a couple squeegee paintings because I picked up some new paint that I am in love with. It is, so I have a lot of different paints at the studio I work at my fingertips, and I have fallen in love with the phthalo blue-green shade, and if you know anything about paints, you may have come across the word phthalo before, and it may refer to either a blue or a green kind of color. It really refers to it refers to the color medium that's inside the medium itself. So you could have phthalo blues and oil paints or watercolors or acrylics. In this case, I have acrylics, but it creates a very interesting color tone. It washes quite nicely in that you can really water it down and it still stains the work in a good way. And it really touches the line of like this teal, at least the green shade that I've got here. It's quite teal and beautiful. When it's dark, like when you use it the full color, it's quite dark. So I think the first thing we're going to do is test out some experiments of squeegeeing with the phthalo blue, and oddly enough, I think we might turn to some store-bought crafting colors. It's kind of like mixing like artist quality with crafting quality. It's like the high-end paint to the lowest end of paints. But the crafting paint, they create sort of a matte finish, which is quite nice. And and seems to be what the crayons like to attach themselves to. Like this was crafting paint, and then on top is the crayons. And this isn't anything, this was an experimentation, but I quite liked it a lot. So we have watercolor papers, which is what I've been doing the crayon sets of pieces that I've been working on. But I also have a notebook here. I picked this, or not a notebook, but it's the new multimedia sketchpad. I picked this up for sale. It was damaged. The front cover on it was ripped, and there's a bit of a damage on that. But I thought it was perfect. I'm going to use this to start experimenting more with just painting styles and things, details on paintings that I kind of want to get that I'm unsure how to achieve yet. I might use that kind of book to experiment on. So one of the things I want to see is like, what's the difference between that paper and my watercolor paper when it comes to putting our crayons in. So a lot to do tonight, a lot of experimenting, a lot of different areas to venture down. I'm going to kind of let my brain run a little wild, and we'll see what comes out on the other end. First things first though, I really want to play with this phthalo blue. At least do, I think, one solid color of it, and then those other 3 sheets we'll experiment with some different colors. I think that's the way to do it. I have matte medium. Oh, perfect. So I think I'm going to use just a colorless medium to do a clear coat on top, so my paint will then evenly squeegee over it. That's my theory. We'll test it. I'm opening chat in case anyone manages to come in live. I don't know, might, but okay. I was just hoping that it didn't start autoplaying something, but it didn't. You're all good. We'll just pop that out. Hopefully, if someone does come in, then I'll notice. Okay. Should put this. This is just kind of dark. How do we fix that? Before I really get into this. Sadly, my lamp here is broken. Fall down and disrupt us, but so we're just going to replace it. Do things look better without it? Hit or miss, right? Just turn up the exposure or something. Wondering if it's better without it. What if we aim it at? Oops. Chaos. Sorry. hear me over the music? Is that better? I feel like that might be better. Who knows? We'll find out. My apologies if the music had been too loud there the whole time. But hey, we're getting started now anyways, so. I'm just starting with, I like to put borders down on any of these loose paper arts that I do. I don't know why. It just, in the off chance that they don't get framed and they just get put into like a piece of glass or something, it's kind of being optimistic that they don't get hung up. But the white frame, it's like, I peel that tape, it's done, it's presentable. You know? Matting built in. To start with some matte medium. Nice weed, you could be cleaner. Might be an issue, might not. We'll find out. And then I'm going to take this stuff. And I think okay. Here's hoping this works. That isn't at all what I wanted, but at the same time, that's still pretty cool. I kind of like that. As if we do something more. That's fun. What happens now? This was going to be all blue, but this is going to be cooler. Still all blue. Adding different teals in now. And this looks like water's edge, like you have water coming in here onto water's edge where there's trees reflecting down into it. This is pretty, I like this. And towels. So I think the matte medium wasn't the solution. I almost think starting with the crafting paint, maybe even like the silver. I find the Deco Art silver is notorious for being quite watery, so see if we can use that to our advantage. Got out our cheat sheet for my crayon colors. I don't think I need this yet, and I want to make sure that no paint gets on that. Put that aside for now. This guy, something I didn't do, I didn't set out a drying rack for myself. I need to do that. gonna put this on the kitchen counter or something, somewhere safe. We'll come back to that guy a little bit later. Let's do another one. Go a little more phthalo blue. Let's try and really like get it on there. But maybe start with a whole bunch of silver. Gonna wash that, but it's just gonna have blue on it anyways. Keep doing that. I keep not quite getting it all. Just gonna want to ensure the whole thing is covered, you know. Some things happening here. There's a little like layers to that silver, but maybe in a good way. Okay. Now, hoping. I'm just gonna go heavy on it. Just load it up along the edge here. Okay. Let's see. It is so sticky as paint. As far as paints go, this is a very sticky paint. I want to try and make it not even, but more uniform color across it. I feel like if I keep working this, it's going to destroy the paper. The watercolor paper, but it can only take so much, I think. Just adding more water. I really wanted to get this covered. I want to see how different crayons act on top. Can't squeegee this paint quite the same. That's okay. We're learning. We're experimenting. It's stark against the white borders. We'll let this one dry up and unwrinkle itself. Come back to see what we can do on top. Those are very two different blues, but basically the same pieces. Alright, let's do another, or should we jump to... I think we should try these. Kind of done something on them so we can kind of experiment with more colors, more crayon ideas. I think I'm just going to leave that blue on there, and we're just going to see what happens. Play with these two colors here. This will probably give us a purple once it starts mixing with that. That's cool. A lot of interesting stuff going on there. I feel like I need to leave it. Extra red. It's a nice easy one. I think we're good with this. Experiment with the red. I think the next one, to use the red and the orange. I don't know if I need any phthalo blue. I want to do some testing without that. one last one. And we'll get into some crayons. I just made a real bad mess there. Oh well. Let's just put this here. Oh, I don't like that. Oh well. Let's get really messy with this one then. Very Spider-Man colors right now. I love that. I didn't like that. This is just gonna make more brown, but let's experiment. Ooh, okay, so the blue wants to come through. If I keep mixing, it's just gonna go browner and browner. Maybe that's not a bad thing. This one at all. I'm just making brown. Maybe an interesting brown. What do you think, Benny? We'll try to build up like maybe some vibrant colors on top. I'm starting to think like, what if this is a rainy scene of the city? This could be a building that I'm seeing in the background there. And, you know, it could be something. It could be not so ugly. Right, we'll take this one off. We'll set it aside. We've been going for only 36 minutes. Okay, red paint everywhere. I need to do some cleanup. I need to set this aside. I need to do some cleanup. I need to go to the washroom. And then when I get back, it's such an ugly brown. When I get back, we are gonna dive into some crayon colors. And right keep exploring this chaotic energy I'm exhibiting. Who knows? Maybe we'll just make something beautiful tonight. Okay. Set this up there. And I'm gonna go on break. I will be back in a little bit. I'm just gonna say this to everybody. I need to unmute this. I was watching an Evan and Caitlin live stream. She had a genius idea. It says if you're gonna mute it, I don't know if I have a physical mute button on here. Is that what that means? Does that mute? Am I muted? No, I'm not. Test. Now I really can't tell. Anyways, she said move it to a new location, and then when you unmute, bring it back. I think that's pretty smart. That's what we'll do. Is we'll mute, and then I'll move it. I'm just gonna take it here. Set that down. think that could be a workable system, you know? I see the mic. Oh no, I forgot to put the back. I forgot to unmute. You know, that could work. Okay, let's do some actual coloring here. I didn't finish cleaning up. Got a bit of a mess still. Just a little bit of a mess. That's good. Now, let's reverse my. Let's unreverse that. We'll see. Let's see. The first ones I want to do are these, I think. So my idea, I have all of these beautiful colors of crayons. Instead of these being one uniform color, I'll start giving it some like attitude, you know? Start building on colors that are within the same range, then filling in like, you're picking up what I'm putting down. That's where my mind is going at first. I'm feeling this one because it has less spots. So this could be a good tester. We're gonna ignore my signature there too. We can clear that up. We'll see if we can do this. We may just start into this. If we like it, then we'll either set it aside to do more later, or if we heat it, then we'll set it aside to not do it later. I think we want to be like very Van Gogh-y kind of little bits of color. That's where my mind's saying. So that's where we go. Let's just start putting down the color, I guess. Does it even accept color? It does if you really draw with it. What I was thinking of at first was these little marks, and that's obviously not working out. That's good to know. So what can we do with some color? Brighten things up, maybe. I don't even know if that's doing anything on camera. It doesn't feel like it. Let's go to another spot. Let's see if maybe it's just the yellows and oranges. Let's go into like, oh, see now if we go into the greens. Some colors are definitely better than others, I think. No, Benny, don't eat my crayons, please. Hey, stop. I don't know how I feel about that. This is why we're experimenting, I guess. seems to be more for, like, it can tint a color. Don't think it can replace a color. Like, I can use this yellow against the edge here and kind of show like it's glowing off that other yellow peak, you know? But it's only just applying a thin tint on it, I think. So I apply it too hard, then I get all these little flaky bits. I don't know if I like that. Here, I can zoom in a little bit. Let's see what you guys can. I was worried that would happen. Like I said, lamp's broken. Sorry, Benny. Spooked him. Here, come on down. So that's the green. Let's see. Let me think of like the blue. As you can see, like the orange, like feels like I didn't do anything there, did it? Does it? You can see a little bit of texture, but not a lot. Oh, Benny, a fur on my face. Okay. Let's see. Grab some different shades of blues. Here. Again, it's kind of like barely even doing anything on that. I think this blue is just such an extreme dark color. I can add to it. I can add to the darkness, I think, but that's interesting though. I don't think it does a lot, eh? What happens when we put white on? Even that is like... Yellows? Oh, now that's doing something. Now that's something. I wonder, same with this. Yeah, okay. So I can at least tone a color up, or what is that? What is that doing to that color? I don't even know. Purple looks a little weird now. This just looks black on camera, doesn't it? Zoom back out. Yeah, I'm not sure about any of that. I thought this was going to be a little bit more successful. So what happens if we bring some oranges and reds into this? And let's go like really crazy right over some of our brightest color here. I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I don't think it's... I think it's following the intentions of this art. I don't know. I think I might fiddle with this a bit off camera. But it's not exactly what I was imagining. Yeah, I'm gonna play with these later. Let's move on. Let's see. Aurora Borealis sky. There it is. Give you darker sky, maybe. Outer space split. Okay. How did I think this was going? It doesn't even look like northern. It just looks like sheets to me. The intention originally was like Northern Lights, but I like the idea that this is just curtains. Surprisingly well. So it really depends on the medium. I think that I'll start with using a higher quality acrylic paint. kind of feel I'm like color blocking it out, but I'm also not sure about that. Maybe I stick with consistent pink and purples through. I think we'll keep gradiating, make a gradient across, experiment with different shifts in tone. I think we'll stick with like a hot pink up in this area. So, I can conclude that it's great for applying color on top of basically watercolor or inks. But as we can tell from earlier, putting crayon on top of fancy acrylics, or at least like really heavily applied acrylics, it's really hard. It's really challenging. I like this a lot. I think this is very mindless. I could zone out to coloring something simple like this. Yeah, I was getting quite quiet there. Let's pause for a moment and look at the other pile of things that we want to experiment with and see maybe we should head in that direction. So this successful. I think new gradients on top of more solid, quick water art. Good. I like that. Set that aside. Successful. Let's see if we can play with that a little bit more on some of these maybe. So these were already, they have crayon applied, and then there was a squeegee art on top, but I never checked to see what would it be like if we put crayon again on top of that acrylic. So I actually think those ones are going to be the more interesting ones to check out, especially if like I could just keep on layering up. I immediately have ideas for these. I think we're going to go into that direction. These guys, it's just going to be the same thing as the other art. I don't see how this would be any different unless I can come up with some different kind of idea. I think we're just going to set these ones aside. I don't know about this one. I feel like I want to think about it. Check out those guys in a bit. Okay, so what can we do to these ones? So I like this idea that I had originally. So I have the series, what was I calling them? Primitives on a landscape or something like that. The title's down somewhere. It's written down somewhere. That was more official than earlier. But I was just doing like these simple primitive geometries, like the square, the circle, triangle, but on very interesting, different kind of landscapes that I've drawn out. Had a lot of fun with that. I quite enjoyed it. But I didn't take this further. I took this one, started playing with squeegee on top of it. But I never checked to see what else I could do. Maybe we can set up layers on layers of these geometries on these rolling landscapes. And every time we do a squeegee, I could be changing the hue of the color more warm. The cooler it goes, more like atmosphere it feels like there is. So like start with very teal, soft color that washes over that, and then keep applying that maybe over top. I'm just throwing ideas out at myself. So black square, I did a thing of silver over top, it looks like. There's a lot going on in this painting. I don't even remember how I did the blue underneath. Oh, I remember. I had a piece of tape. And then, okay, so the process of this one. I drew out the square, similar to this, which I'm going to do another one. I have a black. I think we're going to go blue. We're going to slowly turn blue, so I'm going to grab the outer space. Okay. And then, so I filled in rectangle or square, or if I was doing a circle, I didn't really use a piece of tape. I would try to draw the circle really well, or had a circular object that I'd trace around. do this, and then the problem is I don't have enough landscape to work with. What I should do is I should have, this one I could kind of explain. I should have the landscapes further and further down on the canvas, so the topmost, or the furthest back primitive should be like way at the top. I've seen snowdrifts here in this one, like this. Okay. So distracted. It's very late in the day. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a stream tonight. But then I started playing with these crayons and I figured I might as well. I think I might just use this solid color. I might just fill in. Oops, broken crayon. I need to make a tracker for that. So I didn't really go over the other crayon. It's okay. Continue it down here. Just this is always my punishment whenever I break a crayon. I have to use the little broken bit as much as I can. I usually kind of form it into a little gem. Put that gem into a little collection of gems. Little wax gems. Yeah, the craft paint, it applies so much more effectively than the more expensive paints. Which is kind of annoying because the expensive paints have a much nicer quality to them, like finish quality. But I suppose if the main art piece is constructed of crayon on top anyways, then it wouldn't matter. And it's cheaper. It'd be a lot cheaper too. Stick with craft paints to prime any large pieces. It's ultimately what I'm kind of hoping to get out of this experimenting is can I use paints to prime the like the initial color? I'm pretty certain I can. I was at the AGO recently. I was looking through some different exhibits, and the artist escapes me at the moment, but I saw some art that had basically, it was crayon on acrylic, and I was like, ooh, I like that. Completely different style to me, which is great. I don't know if they were specifically crayons, but it was like oil pastel of some kind. I saw that, and I saw the oil pastel on top of very solid acrylic colors, and that's where I got inspired. I was like, I need to get those crayons onto some acrylic, see how it applies. Ultimately, I'm hoping to take some of this knowledge into a new piece. Hey, Roland. Sorry I didn't see your messages. All right. that's that. And then, in theory, I should be able to do a squeegee pull with paint over top of this. That's the idea. Kind of cool. So I like that. I like that. Let's leave that. This is neat. I like this one. We'll set that aside. Let's try to do some of the other squeegee idea on this one. So I started with a white and a white line in the back here. I think I can get a couple different line strokes in here, like a gray one and then a black one. Or darker gray, you know, stick with just grays. So lighter gray and then a darker gray. And then like two other rectangles in here. Yeah, we'll see. Let's try to do that. But this one I'm going to take down. So we're going to squeegee between each layer. Also, I need to go get my squeegee. These is literally silver. I don't know if I want silver. Do these two. So silver kind of has like little. Yeah, it's great. Kind of has like little metallic flakes in it, but I don't think it's bad. I don't know why the light is reflecting in such a way. The green is so fluorescent, it's weird. It's not that fluorescent in real life. I guess something to consider is that if you're using lighter colors, no matter what, there's going to be some of those colors underneath that are going to show through. Because that need to be built into the design, I suppose. You can keep applying it and get it so thick, but eventually it's like any of the crayons, it'll want to start flaking off. Okay. I think what I want to do is just tone this area down here. Now, I'm debating what blue I want to do. Since I kind of determined the craft paint is the better of the paints to use, do I want to use this teal or stick with the same kind of like tone that's already here? I think maybe adding just a little bit more interest in tones and colors. This might be better. What if give everything just a little bit of water first? Teal, yeah, right? I think teal is the better go-to. It's gonna add more interest to it. I mean, like, tonight's all about experimenting, trying new things, but I mean, that's to the benefit here. I have to go get the squeegee. I need to wash it. One moment. Oh, but I didn't mute my mic, but I guess I can keep talking with this road while this noisy water is running. It's just an ASMR podcast. Oh, there's no washing with this squeegee. This is good enough. Okay. Let's take this and let's. Everything's wet, right? Be better. Be a little bit better. Now I can only do one layer on this tonight, I think. If this is successful, then I'll probably end up doing that extra building. I don't see why this wouldn't be successful. This is working out so far. Ooh. Ooh, I like that a lot. And now that there's another coat of paint on here, once it's dried up, I should be able to draw on top of it with the darker gray. So I think on that next layer, let's get rid of this teal. Do I really not have any other blues? It'd be cool if I could get a third blue on top of there as well. But I don't have any crafts other than these two. Yeah, whatever. I'll take this off for now. And I think on that third layer, when I get into it, I'm not going to put a border down. I'll probably just stick the page down double-sided. I really like playing with borders. Kind of experimenting where like the art is actually ending. And like even if you can get like a really cool frame as well to put art into. Sometimes hunting for the right frame is part of the journey as well. This is so fun. I don't know why I never thought to do multiple layers to these squeegee arts, but this is very interesting to me. It's going to take that primitive series to the next stage, I think. I'll have to go back and find wherever they all are. Let's go put this aside to dry. Let's grab some of these that I had done earlier. And I think we can just kind of verify some of our presumptions from tonight's stream. So, these were done with a mix of quality of paints. This has, let's go one by one. This has a high quality paint done first pass, and then a low quality paint done over top to kind of give that matte finish to it. I think this will accept crayons nicely. That's my assumption on this one. We'll see how that assumption holds up. Let's set that aside for a second. Let's talk about all of them. This is cheap paint applied first and then expensive paint applied on top. It's very glossy. It's still kind of wet, but it's kind of crinkly, right? I don't think the crayon's gonna like this very much. We'll see. It's like it doesn't have much paper like feel to it anymore. This is similar to the first one, but in a red tone. So we're gonna play with those two different directions. We'll see what that's like. And then what happens when it's that cheap paint, but extremely thick, right? So this is gonna be just a kind of different experiment as well. All right, what do you think, Benny? Say hello to the camera. Come here. You're sitting on top of my palette. Say hello. Being a good boy. Yes, you're being a good boy. I guess you can hang out. I don't got any wet paint going on. But where is a better spot for you to sit? Is it there? Come here. I need somewhere to work. Okay. start with this one. I'm certain this one's gonna just work. This is gonna work out for us, right? You sit right there. Can you be in? You'll be in frame if you sit. I think for these, I'm going to lean into my first instinct. What do I feel like this is? And we'll kind of go from there. To me, this is water. This is very much a reflection of some sort of trees above onto the water, and these are waves coming in. And the only thing that's really missing, I think, is a little bit of definition into these waves. And maybe adding in some tones under here to kind of indicate the idea of greenery or I don't know, what am I trying to say? Algae, like, you know, things under the water. There's a lot that I love about this, and I think I'm hoping that we can just take it a little bit further. But who knows, maybe I'm about to ruin it. Let's find out. I think we can get some ideas of the sun, just indicating very slightly, like I am super delicate here. I think we need to, what are you doing? I want to zoom in, but that means you won't be on camera, buddy. There we go, penny cam. Then we can zoom in. Trying to watch. Yeah, I know. Trying to make sure I'm in frame. So I'm trying to take some of these yellows that I've got. It's really like vibrant ones. I just kind of want to indicate the idea that maybe there's a sun nearby that's warm in the afternoon. It's just slightly making an appearance across these waves here. And not really much of waves, more like little ripples, right? They just look like little ripples in the water coming through. Down here, I think there's got to be some stuff that's catching more light, more interest in the water. Just toning a little bit here and there. I really think a little bit goes a long way in this kind of stuff. And I really like having this big pack of crayons. It gives me a nice variety of colors. I can really think, like, not abstractly, but painterly, and where I'm applying the colors and how I'm trying to just indicate the idea of, like, green growth under there. Maybe some things, little rocks or something catching little bits of light. Is it coming? Is it coming through on camera? Is that what I'm trying to do here? I'm trying to tone up some of this. What about catching just a bit more light there? So as I suspected, as long as it's that dull matte paint, the crayon loves it. This is good. I like this. I'll probably fiddle more with this and play with maybe some darker tones, like cerulean. I like cerulean. Under the ripples there. Catch a little bit. Yeah, I could keep playing with that, but I'm going to set this aside. As suspected, the matte paint, perfect. Crayons love it. Now, my worry, I had fallen in love with this, well, I have fallen in love with this phthalo paint, this phthalo blue. White highlights with the yellow, and then notice you had to wait. So I've fallen in love with this phthalo acrylic blue, right? It's great. This, I don't know why I pulled that out. And I was really hoping that I could get some really interesting designs on top of it. The blue itself just reminds me of Toronto. I don't know how to explain that, other than like it's the blue of the buildings in shadow. And I've been really playing around with a lot of these abstracted crayon pieces, and they are directly related and inspired by Toronto. And so this next piece, I was really hoping that I would have this phthalo blue as like a backdrop to the colors, the crayon colors. But I haven't been, I've been a little worried from the results of that last piece. Those mountain pieces, it was painted with all the same quality paints. Maybe not the same quality paints, but similar quality paints. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to color block this. I'm going to test out some different colors on top. What would probably be better would be maybe this way. I was thinking doing a color of red, which we can shift. Maybe we start doing a light color at the top, to a dark color at the bottom. And then we just do the rainbow here. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. The blue is going to be interesting. But that way I have a value of all the different colors. I think to do this, let's do this. Well, this tape is kind of sticky. little worried that it's gonna pull out my paint when I try to oh, it's gonna, no, it's gonna ruin my paint. I'm just gonna be upset with myself. Let's not do that. We'll use the green tape. Wider margins, but save ourselves the heartache. That would be yellow. I don't know if I would even have room. And then that would be orange. Red would be right off the edge. We'll go halfway. Oh, that's not much room to test, but well, I guess it'll mean when we take up all the masking tape, the blue will be still like the dominant feature of the piece. And these are very abstract kind of like art pieces here now. They don't have much of a, they're not art. I maybe wouldn't call them art in the end. They're tests. Like, I think art's trying to kind of indicates the idea of a story or meaning. These don't have a meaning. They're just for my benefit. These aren't perfect, but hey, neither is life, so say la vie, I guess. Yep. Okay. First one, pink. Or something bright like this, or even a little less neon. We'll go right down to red. Right like that. Now, do I want to go like actually like deep orange or brown? I think I might have a better, may garner better information from doing a brown. Which, if you didn't know, brown is just orange without so much brightness. It's dark orange. you never knew where to place brown in rainbow. It's just just green. So. I am currently using watercolor paper. That's what these ones are done on. If you've seen the previous building crayon pieces that I've done, those were all done on watercolor paper. And to make sure we don't get these mixed up. The idea is we have rainbow in a light version and a dark version, and we're going to gradiate both of them for all of the colors. So I think this is going to be maybe our final test, and then we're going to apply it to what we learn from this. If there's anything successful from it, we're going to apply it to this worked on painting, and so this earlier in the stream I was talking about I do the occasional paint along sessions with students, and this was one of those scenarios where we got to this point in the painting and the students had enough well, actually, why do I have this unfinished painting? Oh, I had to repeat the whole painting again because of other students. I had two sets of students that merged to one set of students, and I had to repeat that painting, so this was just an extra that was halfway done. So if we learn if we learn anything successful from this test here, we'll see if we can apply it to that. And that's how we'll wrap up today's stream, I think. Well, I appreciate you joining in and watching live. It's always much better when I actually have like a live audience member, at least at least one. So we've done the reds. I'm going to just mark out each of these spots with the colors, and then get into transitioning them. And who knows, this might just be a complete failure, and that just will wrap up this stream tonight. I mean, nothing we've done tonight is, I would consider, failing. It's all tests. I'm learning a lot. But I'm really feeling that this isn't going to work out how I envisioned, at least at the start of the night. Kind of why I'm building up the suspension here a little bit. We'll see. one as dark as I anticipated it to be. Banana Mania. I should have checked the colors first. Should have gone with golden rub. Golden rub. Let's do a layer of Banana Mania. No, you know what? We'll stick with it. Just a bit extra. Maybe there. Beth, are you the same Beth that I know in real life? That might be a weird question if you're not, but I'm like now looking at your profile picture, and without clicking through, I'm questioning, like, wait, is that Beth I know? It's funny. If you are, hi. Thanks for joining. Even if you aren't, thanks for joining. Okay, so purple, I kind of figured that purple would be successful because it is the darkest color. So I knew no matter what, it would be able to apply on top of anything and create a pretty dramatic difference. No, I don't think so. Okay. That's okay. It's nice to have you regardless, Beth. I'm in Ohio. Okay. So no. I'm Dylan. Yeah, I knew that one would work. Like, I knew that would affect it pretty dramatically. The blues, I don't think are going to do much. Well, I don't know, it's changing it. Getting warm here in the studio. So it is going over it, but whether it is making a significant difference, I don't think so. It's sort of muting the color. on camera it doesn't look like anything's changed there. It's lightening it up a little bit, but not a lot. Okay, so that's those two. Green though, that's doing something. It's kind of interesting. And I shouldn't be surprised that obviously putting blue on top of blue is not going to make a remarkable difference. Especially since the blue I used is in tone quite similar. Just maybe a little more green. I don't think we're going to be able to see like major differences here until we start peeling up these bits of tape. So I think what I learned earlier was maybe not fully correct. It's not that I'm having trouble applying the crayons to this paint. It's just a lot of those pastel-y paints that the deco art, those cheap paints. I think the reason why they're so pastel-y is pastel-y. I think the reason why it looks so much like pastel is because a lot of the paper shows through underneath, and that's what the crayon is bonding to more than, not more, but at least allowing the color of the crayon to show through more. Are you okay there, Benny? Sneezing a lot. What'd you get into? But I think these do work on top. I do want to flake a bit more, where I was finding with that cheaper paint, I didn't want to flake as much, which was really nice. Well, I hope to see you in future streams. My my streaming schedule is very chaotic. I'll admit to that, but definitely on the. I teach a lot, and the schedule is quite up in the air. But between terms, I do spend a lot more time streaming, so definitely if you subscribe, keep an eye on the channel if you want to see more of these. I think it's going to look pretty awesome. I'm going to be more surprised than I was first giving myself credit for here. Orange, it's making brown, which makes sense. Orange and blue, complementary colors, complementary colors. Normally you mix those together and you're shooting for brown. So I could spend a lot more time or be a lot slower with how I apply all of that. I was going pretty quick. So the application, you can see, isn't like, it has very much that crayon look. I have practiced enough drawing or coloring with the crayons that if you do it slow enough and apply the layers very delicately, you can eliminate that pretty much entirely. So bearing that in mind and knowing that I could get the color to be even a little bit stronger, let's see how this looks compared to just that original blue. There we go. Well, I am glad that in what little time that you do spend on the internet, you're choosing to spend it with me. Yeah, even like right here, that blue almost like melds into just that same color. It's just that same color right there. Okay, this is working out. This actually, there's something here. I'm getting ideas. I'm being inspired a lot. There's an art piece here somewhere. Not in this. This is, well, this could be an art piece as well. It's quite pretty. But this is inspiring a lot of different avenues for my art. I'm quite pleased with this though. That's pretty cool. Huh. You can only kind of see my reaction. We're not even looking at Benny anymore. He's not here. What are we doing? Alright. I know I said I kind of wanted to work on this. I kind of do, kind of don't. This has got me thinking so much on so many different directions. I think I need to write some stuff down. I need to think off camera. This has been awesome. I think, here, let's go over some of the little things we learned. For toning color, quite effective. I think that's great. Velvety colors, this is fun, this is cool. I'm gonna just fiddle with this one more. This was really just a learning exercise there. I think my assumptions on this was wrong. I think the difference between this and this is not that the paints are basically the same in quality, this blue to these tones here. The finish quality is what I mean. But the way I was applying the crayons here is too small, whereas I think if I apply it more like I have been for all of my pieces so far with the crayons, is I've been tackling these planes of area that either transition from one tone to the other or is just a solid color. It's this little painterly kind of impressionistic style that I was trying to imitate with the crayons. Is that I don't think it's successful. Can we do something else with these on another date? For sure. For sure. Now is not that date. What else did we do that was really cool? This guy. That was fun. I just like that. There was another one of these too. Let's see. Get off the counter. You should know better. This could get another thing. Let's finish off the stream with that. Let's do that. This could get one final little squeegee. Yeah, let's do that. On this though. Let's do the flat. I think I was getting all of these weird pulls in the paint, the squeegee paints at the start of the stream. I think that was coming from my board has a slight bow to it. It was causing it to, the squeegee to not flex. It didn't flex into that bow, so my paint wouldn't smear into the lowest crevice of it. I'm gonna go right up to the edge here. You're coming up. What do you think? Can't see. It's a weird stance. Okay. Make sure your tape is really down. conflicted. I was thinking it needed one last squeegee across it. As I'm putting this down, do you need it? I wish I had a darker blue. I'm wondering if maybe silver, but that might just conflict with literally the silver crayon that we used for that second layer. More teal. Let's go more teal. Oh, I'm gonna be going to bed after this as well, Beth. I've been going for you're on the way. 2 hours, 10 minutes. Oh, the stream has been going longer than I thought. I thought it was gonna be a short little one. Blocking anyway here for the art. I don't think anyone can see what I'm doing. Let's pull this. Squeegee, and we'll call it a night. What we're gonna do, against my better instincts, I'm gonna try something. First, wet the canvas. And then we are going to use that phthalo blue. Hold the palette here. We're going to make a little thing of liquidized. Okay, so top, bottom, left or right? Which direction do I pull the paint in from? You've got to move, Penny. Sorry, buddy. You gotta move on this. I'm feeling left. It's gonna be a mess. Oh, it's gonna be a mess. Oh goodness. Squeegee. Ah. Okay. I don't like that. Let's fix it. Oh, well. You know what, this is why we experiment. We find out things that you don't like. Oh, this was way better moments ago. just ruined crayons. I don't even know what color this is. Oh, it's just red. It's just red. That's fine. I have lots of reds. This was a disaster. What a great way to end stream. Let's peel this up and see what we've got left. Note to self. Don't do what we just did there. Should have went with teal. Oh well. I think I went too dark. I think I went too dark on this. Because I really liked before when I had little bits of white that I could see on in the background there. I should have went with a teal. It's different. It's just, it changed completely in my mind from this one thing to just this very blue piece. Oh no, I did it too. I did this. Okay. Well, I guess we end it there. This guy's really cool. I like this guy. This guy was near before I pulled the dark blue. Alright, next time on stream, I'm probably going to work on taking some of what I've learned here and applying it to a nice large format crayon piece. And whether I'm formatting the composition or coloring the composition is kind of up in the air still. But hey, I think this was successful, and I appreciate you guys for watching. Catch you guys in the next one.